We have got a massive story today, one that perfectly encapsulates the absolute disconnect between the giant corporations making our hardware and the actual human beings playing the games. Have you ever looked at a beautifully crafted, meticulously art-directed video game and thought to yourself, you know what this masterpiece really needs? It needs an artificial intelligence to completely ignore all of that hard work, slap an Instagram beauty filter over the whole thing, and make everyone look like a shiny plastic doll. Well, if you haven't, congratulations, you have a functioning brain. But if you have, congratulations, you might just be the CEO of Nvidia. Yes, my friends, today we're talking about DLSS 5, the absolute dumpster fire that is Nvidia's newest, shiniest, most controversial feature to date. And more importantly, we're talking about how Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Wong, responded to the massive, totally justified wave of backlash from gamers and developers alike. Spoiler alert, he went full Principal Skinner. You know the meme? Am I so out of touch? No, it's the gamers who are wrong. Let us set the stage here. It is 2026. We have survived a lot in the gaming community. We have survived microtransactions. We have survived always online single player games. We are currently surviving graphics cards that cost more than a reliable used car. But Nvidia decided that that was not quite enough pain for one lifetime. They unveiled DLSS 5 at the GPU Technology Conference, and it is a doozy. Previous versions of DLSS were all about upscaling, taking a lower resolution image and using some smart tech to make it look high resolution so your game runs faster. Fair enough, we liked that. It gave us frames. But DLSS 5 is what Nvidia calls neural rendering. What does that mean in human English? It means they are taking the geometry and textures of a game and feeding it into a generative AI model. They're quite literally injecting AI generation directly into the geometry level of your video games to infuse pixels with photoreal lighting and materials. The problem? The AI has absolutely zero respect for art direction. Nvidia showed off demos of games like Resident Evil, and the internet immediately noticed something horrifying. The characters look yassified. They look like they had a 10-step Korean skincare routine and a ring light permanently hovering in front of their faces. All the grit, the dirt, the mood, the specific artistic choices made by real human developers, gone. Replaced by a generic, overly bright, hyper-smooth AI slop that looks less like a video game and more like a mobile game ad where a level 1 crook turns into a level 99 mafia boss. The gaming community erupted. Developers were furious. Concept artists were taking to social media calling it a garbage AI filter that completely ruins the artistic intent of a game. It was a universally panned showcase. And on top of all that, how was Nvidia running this magical, art-destroying technology on stage? On two RTX 5090s. Two of them running in parallel, one to run the game and one just to run the AI model. Because obviously the average gamer just has a spare $5,000 graphics card lying around to act as a dedicated beauty filter for Leon Kennedy. So, with the internet collectively screaming about how terrible this looks, how did Nvidia handle the PR? Did they say, hey, we hear your concerns, it is early tech, we'll work with developers to ensure art direction is preserved? Absolutely not. Jensen Wong, the man in the leather jacket himself, sat down for a Q&A and was asked about the vocal response from gamers who hate the new look, and he came out swinging. His exact words were, well, first of all, they're completely wrong. First of all, you are completely wrong. Imagine having the sheer, unadulterated hubris to look at millions of your own customers, the people who literally built your company from a niche graphics card manufacturer into a trillion-dollar empire, and tell them that their own eyeballs are malfunctioning. You're looking at an image on your screen. You think it looks objectively bad, but Jensen is here to tell you no. Actually, you are factually incorrect for disliking the slop. He went on to explain his reasoning, and I want you to strap in because we are entering semantic gymnastics territory. He says we are wrong because DLSS 5 fuses controllability of the geometry and textures and everything about the game with generative AI. He said it is not post-processing. He says it is generative control at the geometry level. He was very adamant that this is not regular generative AI. No, no, no. He says it is content control generative AI. Do you feel better now? I know I do. It is not AI slop, guys. It is content control AI slop. It is totally different. It is like a restaurant serving you a burnt steak. When you complain, the chef comes out and says, actually, you are completely wrong. This is not burnt meat. This is thermally overloaded bovine muscle tissue, so eat up and pay the bill. Changing the name of the thing does not change the fact that the thing looks absolutely awful. Jensen claims that the developers have direct control. He says they can fine-tune the generative AI to match their style. He even suggested they could make a toon shader or make the game look like it is made of glass. Because when I boot up a gritty, terrifying survival horror game, my very first thought is, man, I really wish this bloodthirsty zombie was made of fragile window panes. That would really elevate my experience. But here's the absolute kicker. Here's the punchline of this massive corporate joke. Jensen Wong stood up there and preached about how this is all about giving control to the game developers. He leaned so hard into the idea that the developers are the ones steering this ship and maintaining artistic integrity. But behind the scenes, reports immediately came out that the developers at Capcom and Ubisoft, the very people whose games were used in Nvidia's big DLSS 5 reveal, had absolutely no idea this was happening. They were completely blindsided. They found out at the exact same time the public did. You literally cannot make this up. Nvidia took their games, jammed them through the yassification machine, broadcasted it to the entire world, and then had the absolute gall to stand on a stage and say, "Do not worry, the developers have full artistic control." Meanwhile, the actual developers are sitting at home watching the stream, spilling their coffee, screaming at their monitors as they watch years of their hard work get smoothed over by an algorithm that thinks shadows are illegal. It is incredibly insulting. Game development is an art form. It takes years of iteration. Artists agonize over the exact lighting of a room, the specific grime on a character's face, the color grading that sets the exact emotional tone of a scene. To take that, override it with a neural network that just guesses what a photorealistic version should look like, and then tell the players they're wrong for hating it is peak corporate delusion. It shows a fundamental misunderstanding of why people play video games. We do not play games just to look at the sharpest, shiniest, most realistic pixels possible. We play games for the art, the atmosphere, and the human experience crafted by actual real people. And this all ties back to the bigger issue right now in the tech space, the absolute dragon sickness of these mega corporations. Nvidia is riding the high of the AI boom. They are selling server racks to hyperscalers for obscene amounts of money. They're sitting on a mountain of gold, and in the process, they have completely forgotten what a gamer even is. We are currently in a market where getting consumer-grade RAM is a nightmare because all the fab capacity is being vacuumed up by AI companies. The cost of building a decent gaming PC right now is astronomical. We are dealing with an industry that seems actively hostile to the average consumer. We do not want AI generating our graphics. We just want to be able to afford a graphics card that can run our games natively without requiring a second mortgage and a kidney donation. Nvidia is trying to force a solution to a problem that nobody had. Nobody was sitting around asking for their games to be re-rendered in real time by an AI. We just wanted better performance. Instead, we're getting a feature that demands dual RTX 5090s just to make our favorite characters look like they belong in a bizarre, Uncanny Valley perfume commercial. So to Jensen Wong, I say this: you might have the fastest chips on the planet, you might have the most valuable company in the world, but you do not get to tell gamers that their own visual preferences are factually incorrect. You do not get to override the artistic intent of developers without their permission and then hide behind buzzwords like content control generative AI. The gamers are not wrong. Your mirror is just broken. That's going to do it for today's video. I would love to hear what you guys think about this absolute mess down in the comments. Are you excited for DLSS 5? Are you currently harvesting organs on the black market to afford 2 RTX 5090s? Let me know. If you enjoyed the commentary, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and as always, this is Cyler signing off. Stay safe, stay gaming, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.